What is your Everest? One goal, so big, so bold, it feels impossible to reach. Close your eyes and picture it. Now, how would you climb it? For most of my life, I thought the answer is easy. Push harder, go all in, and never stop. And that's exactly what I did. I was living out of suitcase nearly 300 days a year. My friends forgot how I looked like. Work-life balance didn't exist. Working 24/7, I sacrificed everything to keep machine running, thinking that what a greatness demanded. But here what I learned, and I want to share this with you today. The truly legendary careers, that ones that last and inspire others, are not made through constant struggle against who you are. They are made when you go in line with yourself. So, why going all out is such a seductive but dangerous idea? Let me introduce you in my high performance life. I've been part of 5 Olympic Games, 7 Dakar rallies. I was working with Olympic champions and world record holders. I'm one of the fastest female in history to swim across the Strait of Gibraltar, with nearly 50,000 hours of training. I was working as an expedition doctor at the North and the South Pole. And yes, I've summited Mount Everest. I was climbing, thank you. I was climbing my Everest. And I crashed into something. I didn't have a name of it at that time. Severe burnout. From outside, I was on fire. Keynotes, clinics, expeditions, media interviews. From inside, I was completely lost, disconnected from any sense of meaning. No inner compass, just motion. So, what I did what high performers do. I gritted my teeth and pushed harder. And it worked until it didn't. So, this is exactly the moment when productivity turns into self abuse. And you don't even notice. It's the most dangerous part because the world keeps clapping. But somewhere along the way, I lost the contact with my inner voice. The pandemic and its stillness saved me. Without noise, I could finally hear that my biology was overdrawn, my mind was over-controlled, my environment took me into permanent on. What I needed wasn't more willpower. I needed completely new operation system. Has anyone here from you experienced a burnout like this? Raise your hands. Wow, that's a lot. I see your hands. That's exactly what happens. And the data backs it up. More than 53% of managers across all industries, even at the highest level, are burned out or felt burned out. And this is not a small problem. This is systemic. And it happens when we use tools that break us. Because what I learned, and I want to share it with you today, that big goals, they are not short sprints. They are long, high altitude climbs. And they require a completely different set of tools. This realization changed everything. That was a moment when I stopped moving on the willpower and started to build entirely new approach for myself and for elite performers I coach. For many years, I'm working with clients, helping them to reach their summits with 100% success rate. Just this year, my client, who I personally coached, summited from the sea level to 8,848 meters under 4 days. No adaptation, no room for mistake. It was a high level, record level, high risk attempt. We was working on his preparation, and during the work, I found out that I learned a lot of lessons, and I want to share these lessons with you today. I want to tell you 3 stories of my life. The first story is about fear and doubt. When I received the invitation to join Everest expedition in 2018, I took time to think about it. As a doctor, it meant for me a lot of responsibility for the health and lives of my colleagues, of my team. And during this time that I took for thinking, I realized that I stuck in the question that that many of us also stuck. Can I do this? And this question appears when we are scared, then when the goal is too big, too uncertain. And this question is having a trap inside because it's focused on the doubt, not on the development. And then I shared with my close friend my feelings, and he told me, "You will regret if you don't go." And I had some click inside me, and the question changed. So I asked myself, what qualities do I need to make the result inevitable, in full alignment with me? For Everest, I identified 2 main qualities: calm under pressure and focus on the important things. Every day I was training these qualities, working in the competition, working in the emergency departments, facing environmental stress on purpose. Here we come to the first lesson of this story. Rehearse your environment and the goal will meet you. The second story is about a loop. So let me take you to the moment when the stakes were 8,848 meters high and the margin of error were measured in minutes of oxygen. Just this year, my client summited from the sea level to top of the world under 4 days. And from the outside, it looked reckless, but from the inside, it was anything but. What is the secret? Dose, measure, recover, adapt, adjust. So this is how we faced every single step of his preparation. My client, he's not a professional athlete. He is a father, entrepreneur. He's an ordinary guy, like you and I. And when he came to me with this idea, I really was skeptical, to be honest. And we agreed, okay, if you want to do it faster than traditional ascent, and actually traditional ascents last from 30 to 40 days. So if you want to do this, let's do something before. You can climb Mount Aconcagua. It's the highest peak in South America. So normally it climbs in 17 days. So if you can do this less than 1 week, and if you will do this, let's go to the Everest project. And he did it. Yes, thank you. And he did it. And we started the Everest project. And we was working on all his skills, his strength, his endurance, his altitude tolerance, and we was using this tool. So let me explain how it works. We create the loop for every single skill. For example, Do you want to build muscle mass to improve your strength? So what you do? You go to the gym and you don't start with 100 kilograms. You start with a weight that's easy for you. For example, 10 kilograms. So you go to the training, you lift 10 kilograms, then you recover with a good meal, protein shake, take and rest. And then after adaptation happens, in the next training you add 5 kilograms more and you lift 15. And that is how you go till 100 kilograms, your goal. And this is very simple loop. And it doesn't matter is Everest your mountain or metaphor. What is your goal? The loop is the same. Dose, measure, recover, adapt, adjust. So apply this loop in your life. My third story is about death. I will never forget the day from my Everest expedition, 2018. Before the expedition, I was asking a lot of questions. I was speaking with people who already been there, who even summited several times. And I was asking them, what is the danger you can see coming? And over again, I heard oxygen. Not only how many tanks you have, but knowing your flow, knowing your gear, knowing how many tanks are left and where they are. Oxygen is your lifeline, and it's invisible until it's too late. So in the summit day, 10 hours before we reached the summit, I made quite calculated decision. I lowered my flow of oxygen, not because I felt strong, but because I might need it later. And the decision saved the life. On the way back from summit at the altitude of 8,400 meters, deep in a death zone, I found our lead guy, slumped, confused, searching through the empty tanks. He miscalculated. He shared his oxygen with a client who miscalculated and ran out of oxygen. Now he was hypoxic, losing his function fast. And the tank that I had saved him. You might be the one putting one foot in front of the other, but it's a team behind you that makes results sustainable and possible. And here we go to the lesson number three. Curate your team with purpose. Because in the high altitude goals, it doesn't matter mountain or entrepreneurship. It doesn't matter how hard you push. Because when we know why we push our limits and with whom, we redefine how far we can go. Progress shouldn't feel like a civil war inside your body. Harmony outperform force. Keep the genuine curiosity. Make the process feel alive. And your summit will become a byproduct of how you live each day. So, remember your Everest, the big goal that you imagined at the beginning of the talk. Let's bring it closer. So let's apply these 3 lessons to achieve your big goal in harmony with you. First, quality. Pick one quality your goal demands. For example, emotional intelligence. Ask you every single day one simple question. What do I feel? And this will help you to connect more with your emotions and connect and understand people around you. Second, create your loop and run it. So we all live with stress. And let not stress rule us. Start your day with 5-minute meditation, then adjust small stress dose, public talk or difficult call, then measure your stress from 1 to 5, and then recover with journaling or breath work. And then ask yourself at the end of the week, did this dose make me smaller or stronger? And adjust accordingly. And third one is about your team. Watch to your team through the lens. Who is supporting me? Who is giving me honest feedback? And who is mentoring? This works because first we build qualities, then we translate them into the skills, and then we log them into the system that makes results sustainable in harmony with you. Climbing your Everest mountain or metaphor doesn't require a perfect moment, a perfect you. As a doctor, scientist, and climber, I learned this. Everything is possible until you decide otherwise. If a human can stand on the top of the world just 4 days after leaving sea level, imagine what you can do with right qualities, right tools, and the right team. Every summit, everything in your life is possible. I invite you to start your journey to climb your own top. Thank you.